Let's go to Carrie in Kansas. Carrie, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, I'm looking forward to Invisible Empire soon. I wanted to elaborate a little more with a good point you were bringing up on China with the currency revaluation. Geithner postponed the report. It was supposed to come out on Thursday or Friday, and he was last week meeting with the vice premier of China, who would only agree to meet with him at the airport there. And he was probably begging him, the vice premier, to work with him a little bit. But it seems to be that they've come to terms that between now and the end of the year, it's going to be a 3% revaluation, which is pretty funny because the reason they linked to our currency in the first place was back in the summer of 2008, before the crash, when the commodities bubble was real high. And it's common knowledge on the Wall Street that the Chinese pressure by the Chinese banks was what caused Paulson to push so hard for Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac to
Carrie,
be bailed
those
out.
are great points. I want to get into that on the other side. And I also want to get into BRIC, Brazil, Russia, Indonesia, and China. It's the InfoWarrior. We are back to the InfoWarrior with Jason and Bermas. We were just talking about the relationship with the United States and China to Carrie in Kansas. And we were showing you how China is revaluing their currency. They are working closely with the United States, but then there's kind of some infighting going on whose currency is going to be on top in the next 20 to 30 years and what alliances will be made. And of course, China, along with Russia, Indonesia, and Brazil, have formed BRIC in order to promote their version of a regional or global currency. We're going to continue to take your calls. Then we're going to play a 1-minute sneak peek of Invisible Empire, a new world order to find. You can order it right now over at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv, where it will premiere April 15th, and the orders are shipped out in the number we actually get them. And it's also basically just breaking down the Council on Foreign Relations, a little bit of roundtable groups. Again, this is a 2-hour and 12-minute documentary. We're going to give you a 1-minute sneak peek. And then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you'll also be seeing some sneak peeks coming along over at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.tv. Let's go to Nick in North Carolina. Nick, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason. I got a congressional candidate you guys probably should look at. His name is Tim Curtis in Florida, and he's running for like the 11th district, and he calls himself a constitutional Democrat. And I talked to him, let's say interviewed him, but I called into a show, and he said that the Federal Reserve is pretty much unconstitutional, and he pretty much same philosophy we have. So if people want to get up there and look at him, they can do that. And
his name is Tim Curtis out of Florida. We do need more people who are going to actually defend the Constitution and Bill of Rights and not become career politicians under the hands of the establishment. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Carl in Virginia. Carl, you're on the line.
Yes, I heard you talking about the global warming thing, and absolutely global warming is bogus. I mean, it's not man-made, and then there's the problem with them taxing carbon dioxide. It's what we breathe, and the plants breathe it and create.
Yes, but the
more
general
oxygen.
masses, Carl, are so dumbed down they think it's some kind of a horrid toxin that if you're put in a room with, you might actually melt. And they are still promoting this climate change agenda to bring in global government. They had a whitewash of a trial for people like Michael Mann and Phil Jones on the international scale, the European Union. And this is the headline out of the Telegraph today: UN process in danger unless world agrees on climate change. The United Nations process is in danger of collapsing unless countries are able to agree on the best way to stop global warming by the end of this year. The outgoing head of climate change negotiations has warned. Yes, they were scarred by ClimateGate, but time heals all wounds, and the public will forget about this, and they'll promote some other cockamamie agenda and some other 180-plus piece accord. The last one was 181 pages that they tried to sneak under the world populace to bring in global government. And it was because of people like Alex Jones and Lord Christopher Monckton that did not get through. And we were lucky enough to have those emails leaked just weeks beforehand. Appreciate the call, Carl. Let's go to Ron in Arizona. Ron, you're on the line.
Good afternoon or good evening, Jason. Please give careful consideration to the idea I'm going to give you for your next or one of your films in the future.
Mm-hmm.
The idea is to make a film in which all you do is hold a trial and make it as legitimate as possible, and pick one of the top criminals of our days, like one of the Bushes or Dick Cheney, Rumsfeld, David Rockefeller, the Clintons, etc., and just hold a trial in which all the evidence is presented to the viewers of the crimes they've committed, and actually hire 2 lawyers.
Well, that would be a very novel idea for a picture. There are television shows overseas that do the same exact thing. In fact, they had one about bin Laden and 9/11, and they were saying, is bin Laden guilty of the September 11th attacks? If you type September 11th on trial, I believe they did that out in Europe. It would be a very interesting series, but again, I'm one guy, and I can't do a movie even by myself. I had 3 other editors help me on this project over the last 12 to 18 months, and I would say that that's a great idea. I don't know if we would do actual movies. I think that would work better as a 30 to 45-minute program on features like the Clintons, the Bushes, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, et cetera, et cetera. I hope somebody else picks up the ball and runs with it, because I just don't see it happening here when we're literally putting out 20 to 25 new news stories. We're putting out a 4-hour radio show every day. We put out this 3-hour radio show once a week. It's a lot of work, folks. You can't imagine how hard it is to have capable video editors. Then you have to have capable web designers. Then you have to have IT people that can upload it all, handle the server traffic, and we keep growing and growing and growing. And that's thanks to you out there getting these films, making copies, and getting the word out. But we also need some other great filmmakers out there. I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I truly do believe I am one of the top-level filmmakers in the Patriot arena, because I understand that we do have to reach a mainstream audience. I understand that each one of my films does have to be better than the next, and I've never done anything as good as my upcoming film, Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined, a new level of graphics and understanding, a new level of research, in my opinion, on the subject of global government. So next week's show is really going to be dedicated to Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. It will have been out for about 4 or 5 days. We're hoping people are going to call in with their reviews, their criticisms, their favorite parts of the film. And I'm also going to be premiering the film live at 7 p.m. in San Antonio with We Are Change San Antonio over at the Alamo Draft House out there. So if you go to We Are Change's San Antonio site, I am going to be there. I am going to be taking questions. We will have DVDs available for people. It's going to be a great event. I can't wait to do that. Again, so next week, I'm hoping all you PrisonPlanet.tv heads out there, all the people that are getting this film, making copies, call me up. Tell me what you think was most powerful. Tell me what you didn't think was most powerful. What was your favorite clip in the movie? So Invisible Empire, A New World Order Defined. I just can't wait to release this film. I can't wait to get it out to the people. We're going to go back to callers in just a moment, 888-201-2244. But I want to hit up these 2 stories very quickly. Mitt Romney wins Republican straw poll. That's the headline out of Reuters. It should be establishment shocked or establishment shaken as Ron Paul loses by 1 vote. They put that down here. It's only a 4-paragraph article, but it was 439 votes to 438 out of 1,806 votes cast. Paul came in second. We know he won a straw poll, a very important CPAC straw poll, just a couple months ago. And as you see mainline Republicans shift to the viewpoint of Ron Paul, that only helps us, as he is truly one of the only anti-establishment politicians out there. And Ron Paul at this event said, Ron Paul says Barack Obama is not a socialist. Republicans and Tea Party activists are fond of accusing President Barack Obama of being a socialist. But today, party gadfly Ron Paul said that they had it wrong. In the technical sense, in the economic definition, he is not a socialist, the Texas Republican said at a smattering of applause in the Southern Republican Leadership Conference. He's a corporatist. Paul quickly added, meaning the president takes care of corporate and corporations take over and run the country. Care of corporations and corporations take over and run the country. This guy's telling you that big government, in essence, the establishment, are the big corporations. They control Barack Obama. He is their puppet. And that's why Ron Paul is so important to this country, this Constitution, this Bill of Rights that we are really holding on to by a thread in this country. All right, let's continue to take callers. Bob in New Jersey. Bob, you're on the line.
Thanks a lot, Bermas. I want to say that I went to a We Are Change event in Philadelphia today, and I just want to say it was awesome, and I encourage others to get involved. It's really easy. I just found my local We Are Change site, made a phone call. I met some really cool people. I had a really good time, so I think other people should get involved.